All right. Let's get this bad boy on the road. All right. Stream, 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 stream. Stream, stream, stream. All right. Emails went out. Test, test, test. Make sure the emails are out. Yes, they are. Excellent. Perfect. All right. That's looking pretty good. Woo! Excuse me. Gonna have a good stream tonight, guys. Good stream tonight. Hopefully everything will hold out well. There is a tropical storm off of Miami right now, so hopefully it does not interfere with my feed. I'm hoping it does not. Let's move that away a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Wait for some people to get into the stream, and we'll go from there. Excellent. All right. Testing, testing, testing the stream, making sure everything sounds good to go for tonight's broadcast. Hopefully everything is going to be good. Starting a little bit early tonight. A lot to talk about in this stream today. Hopefully all the emails went out. I got my email. So that means the stream should be coming up shortly. There we go. Hey, Ultimate Killer, how's it going? Thanks for coming to the stream, sir. On this very murky, rainy day in beautiful South Florida, there's a tropical storm off of Miami right now and dumping tons of rain and wind by us. Yep, you got in here early tonight, my friend. The stream hasn't really begun yet. Started at about a couple minutes early. I think it's going to be a good stream tonight. I'm taking a viewer's request that was brought up last week, and I thought it'd be a very good stream to talk about. So that's what we're doing. Hey, Jackie, thanks for coming into the chat with me today. All right. Whew. A lot to talk about in the stream tonight. Lots going on. I think it'll be a very good stream tonight. This is a viewer-requested stream, excuse me. We talked about it last week from the Q&A. I think it'll be good, a good stream to talk about. Drink for tonight, I went back to some old school. We're going to do some Dr. Pepper. These are the special soda can ones. I guess these are college cans, SEC, which I think is college. I'm not sure. I don't watch football, so I'm not quite sure. We're coming up to 9 o'clock right now, and the stream's going to be beginning. A couple pieces of order housekeeping-wise. I'm going to be taking a 2-week break from YouTube and streaming. I'm going to decompress, take a vacation, because I haven't had one in over 2 years. I've taken maybe a day off because I couldn't shoot or I was sick or whatever the case would be. I'm taking a legit vacation now as far as shooting YouTube. I've put out close to 370 videos in the span of over close to 2.25 years. And I think I could take a vacation. I'm going to take a vacation for a couple reasons. One, I want to decompress, not worry about YouTube, not worry about the stream. 2, I have some dental work I'm doing this coming Saturday. I'm getting a root canal done. And 3, more importantly, my vacation. Hey, Rainbow Optimus, how's it going, sir? Yeah, this is the original one, the original Dr. Pepper. So, and the last reason was I'm going to be taking that 2-week vacation is September 13th. If you guys wanted to know, is my birthday. And I'll be 44 during that birthday. If you guys want to send anything, cards, well wishes, anything to my P.O. Box, you're more than welcome to. It's in the channel notes as always. If you guys wanted to still know what my P.O. Box is, here's my P.O. Box number. If it'll ever focus. There it is right there. That's the P.O. Box. If you guys want to send anything, I will, once I get back up and running after the vacation, I will do an unboxing on the stream live. But I wanted to take some time off so I can focus, relax, get some ideas I want to put out for the channel. I do know for a fact an upcoming stream, what I want to eventually do, one thing I want to eventually do coming up. Thank you very much, Rainbow Optimist. I want to do a video stream on how to break into YouTube. I think that would be a very, very good stream. I can give you what my pitfalls were, how I broke my channel and what I did. Granted, mind you, I'm not the biggest YouTuber. I never claimed to be a massive YouTuber. Even my videos are no longer monetized, but I enjoy doing YouTube, as you guys well know. So let's talk about what I want to do in this stream for tonight. I took a viewer's request, which is what you saw the thumbnail when the email invitation went out. We're talking toys of today versus toys of yesterday. I want everybody who's in the stream definitely to speak up. Hey, Davidoka. I think it was David Doka. David Doka. I think I'm saying it right. Thanks for coming in the chat, my friend. Definitely. Hey, STS, how's it going, my friend? Definitely speak up in the chat, because I think this would touch base on every single person in this chat, or anybody who absolutely has collected toys in any form throughout their life. Let's talk. I want to judge toys from yesterday and compare them, comparatively speaking, to toys from today. Not just necessarily price, but the articulation, the paint, the design, the presentation, everything across the board. And I have a lot of visual aids today. I'm going to be using a lot of visual aids to talk about things in this particular stream. Definitely speak up in the chat. If you guys want to say something, please don't be shy. You're talking to a guy who's an extremely shy person, and if I can do it on YouTube, anybody can type on a keyboard. So let's talk about stuff in general as far as toys, collectibles. We're going to talk about that also, STS. We're just not there yet. Because we're going to bring in these guys, Rainbow Optimist, and I think you'll like me talking about these guys right here. I don't talk Transformers. I'm not a Transformers guy. I have a decent collection of them, but I don't collect them right now. So let's talk toys from what you guys remember in your youth. You could be a younger viewer right now, but people who may be a little older, stuff that I used to remember as far as old school toys. Specifically these things right here. Let's talk about the stuff first and foremost is these guys right here. Probably what broke me into G.I. Joe back in the day were these bad boys right here. This is a reissue of the original Commando Snake Eyes. This is how the original G.I. Joe figures looked back in, let's say, 83, 84. This is the original Commando Snake Eyes. This is how he was presented. This is with swivel arm battle grip. This is how the package is. I got this at TJ Maxx if you were curious. We'll talk some Marvel Legends, absolutely. But I wanted you guys to see some classic G.I. Joe. This is how they looked back in the day. Now let's look at Snake Eyes from today. Probably, I would say, easily the best Snake Eyes you'll ever buy was this one. Actually, no, that's Fire. That's Beachhead, excuse me. Is this one right here. This Snake Eyes, I would say, easily is probably one of the best Snake Eyes ever produced in a 3 3/4 inch scale size, if you want my personal opinion. Let's look at one of the things I wanted to talk about is packaging. Absolutely. Let's take a look at the packaging here between the two. This was the traditional packaging you saw back in 83, 84. This was the newer packaging part of when the G.I. Joe movie was coming out. This is one of the ones they did a big release. I think it might have been the 25th anniversary, 30th anniversary for one of the big anniversaries. I'm not sure which year it was per se, but this is how Snake Eyes was portrayed now, as far as today's packaging. One thing I liked about this one, you can literally have him carry every piece of gear that you see here. He even came with a swappable head, and he actually has his commando head. You have the normal Snake Eyes head here. And then you had the visored head right here. He came with a rifle, an Uzi, 2 pistols. If you're not sure what these guys were right here, those are silencers that attach to these pistols. Right there. He comes with not 1, not 2, but 3 swords. He comes with a figure stand, and I think he has the explosive pack. He does. He has his explosive pack here. This is probably one of the best Snake Eyes you'll ever find in the market. This is not a cheap Snake Eyes. This goes for about 40 to 50 bucks. It's not a cheap figure. It's really, really good. I don't have a Destro figure, unfortunately. I got out of G.I. Joe when I was collecting 2 lines. I was collecting G.I. Joe and Transformers. Slowly, when I was getting into Funko, I phased out both these lines, and mainly there is not a lot of product available for these guys right now. They basically had the G.I. Joe license stalled, and I think they're stalling it mainly for the new movie, and they're going to do stuff with it down the road. Another figure I just briefly showed was another guy I really loved, which was Beachhead. This is the newer packaging. I have several figures that were on card. I never took out of the packaging. This Snake Eyes right here, and that one you just saw, this one I have open, I have loose, but I wanted to get one that was on card, just because I thought it was a really good figure. I didn't mind spending the extra $10 to buy the figure. And if you were curious, they did make 2 packs at Toys R Us, which was this one right here, which was the Low Light and the Night Viper. This is what they look like if you're curious what a 2-pack would look like for G.I. Joe. They have done G.I. Joe Pops, STS. They made Cobra Commander, Destro, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow. I have both Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. I never did a review for them, but they actually have, in fact, made G.I. Joe Pops. So, yeah. So, those were things I collected back in my youth. Toys from your guys' youth. Stuff that you remember back in the yesterday, in the time when you began collecting. If you are a older viewer now, back then, what did you guys collect? Did you collect G.I. Joe as well? Were you G.I. Joe fans? Did you collect the 12-inch figures, or did you buy the 3 3/4 like those ones you just saw? Personally speaking, I like the 3 3/4 stuff. I always did. Hot Wheels, absolutely. A story about Hot Wheels. I used to when I was about 5 or 6. I talked about it in other streams. I had a pretty decent Hot Wheels collection when I was a little kid. It was Hot Wheels and Matchbox. I really didn't care specifically which brand of cars or vehicles I had. That didn't bother me, the branding. I just liked the little toy cars. That's all I cared about. And I think I had a couple of the tracks. We had like a track, you had the launcher, and they had a little loop that would shoot the car through. We'll talk Power Rangers in a second, STS. Don't worry about that. The Hot Wheels themselves, or Matchbox, I liked both of those toys. I really didn't care which brand they were, as long as they were neat-looking little cars. That's all I really cared about. I know for a fact if I had some of my old Hot Wheels now or my Matchbox, they're probably worth a decent amount of money. I had about 4 or 5 cases. I think I had between 50 and maybe 60 cars. I mean, from a little kid, I had like 3 or 4 cases. I think they sat around 32 cars per case. I think I had 3 or 4 of those cases. Thomas the Train. I know a lot of kids that were much younger liked that. Absolutely. Stuff with, let's say, Barney or SpongeBob, Scooby-Doo. Things like that. Toys like that back in the day. If you compare them to toys for today, let's take an example. We'll use Funko in this situation. I just happened to grab one of the Pops. No particular reason why, but I grabbed the Super Friends Batman. Mainly reason why I grabbed this was because the only thing I can really think of comparing this to yesterday as opposed to today, the only thing I can really think of might be Beanie Babies. That was a big fad back in the day. I maybe would compare it to Funko. Funko hasn't burned out. Excuse me, drink of choice for tonight, guys. Still have my cough. Is Dr. Pepper, if you're curious. Thomas the Tank Engine, absolutely. But the only thing I can think of comparing, if you look at Funko, back to the things in the yesteryear would be maybe, I'm thinking probably Beanie Babies. That was a big merchandising collectible market that eventually burned out. Do I see Funko burning out anytime soon? I don't really think so. It's a big business now. They have a lot of IPs, a lot of licenses, huge secondary market. I don't see stuff for Funko in this day and age going away. I don't see it going away anytime soon. I think they were called TY Beanies. I know that McDonald's had huge deals going with Beanie Babies back in the day, the little small Beanie Babies. Absolutely. Hey, David Deco again. What's going on? Absolutely, David. Absolutely. Play sets. Play sets, play sets, play sets. Thank you for chiming into the chat. Yeah, play sets back in the day were all the rage. You had stuff like Castle Grayskull from Masters of the Universe, Snake Mountain, the G.I. Joe base, the Flag aircraft carrier. Things like that. Excuse me again. Things like that were really, really good back in the day. How is the sound on the mic, guys? Let me know if you have any issues. I can turn up a little louder if it's not loud enough. Playsets now are a dying breed. You don't really see a whole lot of them nowadays. I don't know why. Maybe because it's just the amount of cost to invest in a playset is just so much to put together that they really can't justify the cost, is what I think, maybe. Or maybe there's not that big of a demand as opposed it was to yesteryear. I loved my old playsets when I was a kid. I did have the G.I. Joe base. That was a really cool... Thanks, Jackie. I had the G.I. Joe base. Okay, I'll get a little, let me move the mic up as far as the sound goes. Hold on. Let me increase the sound a little bit for you guys. Give me 1 second here. Let me just fix the mic. Props, levels. That's actually at its highest gain. Let me move it a little bit higher right here. There we go. I'll move it a little higher for you guys. Should be a little bit better. Let's see. Some of the old, I mean, if you look back in the day also, thanks, David. Some of the old stuff, as far as those bases, they were real collectible items. The G.I. Joe shuttle, they had the G.I. Joe shuttle play set. Extremely difficult to find nowadays. The G.I. Joe Terradome, the Cobra Terradome, super hard item to find nowadays, especially complete. Those are widely accepted collectibles that people really, really want. Stuff that in this day and age is extremely hard to come by. And it is a commodity. It's something that you don't really see. I know that they're going to be doing the Jabba's barge, which is going to be, I think, they had to put I think it's cost like $5,000 for the Black Series to make this massive Jabba barge. That's another playset. But it takes an enormous investment to make something like this in its day and age. Now you have things like Kickstarter, where people are trying to do things like that, to bring those sort of ideas back. Things like Mighty Max, the little tiny playsets that were like maybe this big, that you open up, it was 2 stages, you had little miniature figures that you could move around the playsets, were really, really cool back in the day. I remember Mighty Max. I don't think I had any, but I definitely remember Mighty Max had the little compact playsets, which I thought was really, really cool. Now, let's switch over to something that I think Rainbow Optimus will definitely like. Take a drink here. I'm going to bring in some of the stuff that I used to collect back in the day. And these are all Toys R Us Masterpiece collectibles. We have Prime. This is all pretty much die cast. A little bit of plastic. I showed them briefly for a second there. We had Grimlock. This is the one that comes with the crown, where he's King Grimlock. And this is the reason why I wanted to bring him in, because I wanted to showcase some of the Transformers that we saw, at least sort of modern Transformers. I have a bunch of stuff in storage, but I don't really display it, and I don't do videos for it, only because I absolutely suck at transforming Transformers, and I cannot do it consistently. And the last guy I decided to bring in was Rodimus. Masterpiece Rodimus. This goes for like $200 now. I can't believe it's that expensive. If you're curious, they are pretty much in scale, if you were trying to see. If you look here, Rodimus is about the size of Optimus, scale-wise. Let me just grab him from the middle, so you can kind of get some scale. Put his head there. There we go. So they are pretty close to scale-wise. He is a bit fidgety. He does, I could have him mistransformed. That Optimus, if you're curious, does come with the trailer. This Rodimus does not. This is just simply the car version of Rodimus. He does not have the trailer piece. They have since done from the Power, I think it's Power of the Primes, where they have done the trailer add-on piece that you can stack on the back of Rodimus. But I've not collected Transformers in a long time. Have you guys collected Transformers? I know Rainbow Optimus probably likes Transformers because of his name. But absolutely. But absolutely. I love Transformers back in the day. If you ask me which did I like, G.I. Joe or Transformers more, I like them both. As I mentioned on a prior stream, it feels good to get two G.I. Joe figures to one Transformers Deluxe. I had more things to play with than one Transformer. So having more toys, more of them, gave me more ways to play with my toys. And back when I was a kid, before I became a collector per se, I played with all my stuff. I enjoyed transforming it, playing it, putting in battle sequences between all my Transformers toys, battling it out. What about Little Shop of Horrors? If you're talking the Pops, I saw the movie, not a big fan of the Pops. Steering clear of them, actually. But as far as Transformers go, I definitely dug the old school Transformers, especially the packaging of the old stuff. I've mentioned before my favorite Transformers back in the day. I loved Skywarp. He was the first jet I ever owned. I loved Blue Streak, a la Silver Streak. He was the very first car I ever had, and Cliff Jumper. Those were my three Transformers I owned when I was a little kid. Those are my three, probably my three favorite Transformers out of them all. Skywarp because he was a purple jet. Cliff Jumper because he was basically a repaint of Bumblebee. And I had the little red Cliff Jumper, the tiny one, which was this big. That stuff I absolutely loved. Titans Return, Voyager, Last Night Voyager, and Classic 2-pack with Gen 1 reissue. Very cool, very cool. And this is what I was getting at, Rainbow Optimus. If you look at some of those older Transformers, compared to, let's say, the newer one, price point aside, I think the older stuff can still really hang with the newer stuff. I really do. I would say probably one of the few toys back in the day that could really hold water when it comes to the new versions of stuff. If you look at the old school Devastator, the old school Devastator back in the day was pretty much a revolutionary piece of construction and engineering to take 6 different guys and build it into a robot. Yes, you breathe on him hard, he'll fall apart. But to put it together in such a way to engineer construction vehicles that put and merge together to make it literally the very first combiner was a very cool idea for Hasbro. If you look at the new Devastator now, which is literally close to 2 feet tall, it's okay, but I still like the vintage stuff that we saw back in the day. I definitely like vintage toys. I said it before, I'll say it again, vintage toys has a very near and dear place in my heart. Are all vintage toys good? No. But stuff like old school Transformers, old school G.I. Joe, things like that I enjoy. And I really, really enjoy the old feeling of those old toys. Pez is a collectible that people really go crazy for. Yeah. Absolutely, Rainbow. Wacky Wobblers, yeah. Pez now, I mean, you had people that were massive Pez collectors, and that's the only thing they collect. That is their thing. And they're worth a lot of money, those sort of rare or hard-to-find items for Pez. But there are people out there who collect Pez. I know a lot of people out there that collect Coca-Cola products, and all they do is collect Coca-Cola. That's their thing. Me, I like Funko, I like Transformers, I like G.I. Joe. I collect comics still, just Green Lantern stuff mainly. But I still do. So let's move on to something else. I want to move on to this guy here because there was a toy line that came out back in the day called the Superpower series. This is kind of what the packaging looked like of Superpowers. I'll call it a vintage toy. This was the Green Lantern cover, basically, of the Superpowers figure that came out long, long ago, back in the late or early 80s. If you're curious, this is a statue. This is kind of what it looks like. I wanted you to see the box. And I did a review on this guy. This is a statue. It looks like an action figure. This is literally what the Superpowers Green Lantern Hal Jordan look like. It's very, very cool. There is no articulation. All the points of articulation you see here is what the figure would have had. The shoulders would have moved. The legs would have moved. The knees would have moved. This is what it would have looked like, and if it had articulation, it would have bent. So I wanted to bring this out because of the Superpowers line. I did like the old Superpowers toys. I think I had a few of them back in the day. I don't remember how many, but I did, in fact, have some. Very cool Rainbow Optimus. Beast Wars was a very cool Transformer line. I don't know if I was a very big fan of the metal versions, when they became the metalized versions of the Beast War figures. I think the original Beast Wars figures were really, really cool because you had, you know, a guy who was a cheetah, a tarantula. You had a guy who was a rhino. You had Optimus Maximus, I think his name was. He was a monkey. So really, really cool. He is holding a lantern. It is not a removable accessory. You can't take that out of his hand. It's designed to work that way. Hopefully my stream holds intact. There is a tropical storm about 40 miles away from me. It's off of Miami right now. I have not lost power. I have not lost cable, so everything is at least holding strong. For people who just came into the chat, I talked about the beginning of it. I'm going to be taking a 2-week vacation at the end of this stream. That means no YouTube videos, no toy hunts, no streaming for about 2 weeks. I have a dentist appointment next week. this coming Saturday, and the following Thursday, which will be September 13th, is my birthday. I will be 44 years old. I've got to dock myself a year. If you guys want to, I talked about at the beginning of the stream. You're more than welcome to send something if you want to do a birthday card or something to my PO box. It's right there. It's on the channel notes. It's on the about of the channel. There's my PO box if you want to send anything. I'd love to get stuff in the PO box. I always talk about it in my videos, my streams. I'd love to do an unboxing with it on the stream on the next available one. That means probably the next available episode of the channel, I will be doing the pulling the winner for the Last Jedi prize pack giveaway, which will be ending this coming Saturday, which will be during that, actually this coming Sunday, which will be part of the day after I get my, I'm getting root canal work done, so, yeah. I do love Green Lantern, big Green Lantern fan. Now, let's move on. You guys know I like talking about wrestling stuff. Wrestling stuff is a big part of my life. I do a podcast I talk about all the time now. This podcast is me and Collecting and Hobby. He handles WWE. I handle the independent stuff. But we talk about wrestling stuff all the time. I want to bring a wrestling figure in that is probably one of my favorite wrestling figures, at least in the modern era now. No problem, STS. You have my P.O. box. And I'm bringing him in because I definitely like this. I like the wrestler, but I definitely like the figure. It's the AJ Styles Elite figure, his newest one. I think this is Wave 54, I believe, of him. One thing I do like with the Elite figures is the sheer amount of articulation on these figures. The Elite class have more articulation than the basic figures. These ones have... I don't know how many points of articulation, but these ones have more articulation. No problem, STS. These ones have more articulation than, let's say, the basic ones you see at Walmart. The basic ones normally are $10. These sell for like $20. You have the ab crunch right here, where the basic ones don't. I think you have more articulation in the arms than the basic figures. I remember wrestling figures back in the day, and this is why I wanted to circle back to the yesterday stuff. They didn't have anywhere near the amount of articulation in these figures. These ones actually have more articulation, they have more paint. The packaging, I think, is a little better compared to the packaging we saw back in the yesterday figures. But yeah, this of course is AJ Styles if you're not sure who he is. So, very, very cool figure. If you were curious who that is AJ Styles. Definitely with the new face scan technology, probably one of the better wrestling figures you'll find on the market, in my honest opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you guys collect wrestling figures back in the day? Besides, we talked about Beanie Babies, besides Pez, besides play sets, if I think it was David Doka. Did you guys have anything else that you guys had back in the day? Time to crack open a new drink. There we go. Whew, we need another drink. I usually have 2 drinks here, so I'll keep going. So yeah, I mean, play sets back in the day were really, really good. I definitely dug old stuff. One of the old, I think it's coming back now, is the old thing that, there's Safi, she's right in the back over there. An old toy, I don't have any of them there, but I saw them, I didn't collect any of them, but I thought they were really, really cool, were Battle Beasts. If you weren't aware what Battle Beasts were, they were, literally, they took the rub symbol from Transformers, and there were figures that were about this tall. They were all sorts of different type of characters, and they had fire, water, and I think it was wood. Fire, water, and wood. And one beat the other. It was a rock, paper, scissors sort of deal. You know, water beat wood, fire beat wood, wood beat water, and water beat fire. That was the sort of the triangle. And they were really, really cool figures. I think they're on a comeback now. I think Diamond Select is doing Battle Beast and bringing him back, which I think is very, very cool to take an older school property and revamp it in this day and age and take something from yesterday and bring it to today. And that's sort of another idea for this whole stream, is taking something that was classic in the day and bring it back. And I think that's a very, very cool idea to do things like that. And Rainbow Optimist, I think you'll be happy about this, because I want to bring 2 guys in right now for you. I definitely dig Power Rangers. And probably, I've mentioned it before, I did a full video about this guy, the SH Figure Art Green Ranger. Possibly the best Green Ranger figure ever created, in my honest opinion, in close to the 6-inch scale. He's not coming across very green. It's very drab looking as far as the green color, but it is bright green. But it's not looking green on camera. The green's kind of washed out. But he is very, very green. He does have the dragon dagger, as you see right there. I don't know if it'll focus. I don't know if it'll pick it up or not. There it is. That is a molded dragon dagger. He has special hands that allows him to hold the dragon dagger like that, specifically. Ridiculous amount of articulation this figure has, as you see. Yep. Whoops. The dragon shield is not removable. It is completely sculpted in. I did reviews for this guy before. This is a 2013 release SH Figure Arts Green Ranger. If you notice, the toes can bend. The amount of articulation on this thing is staggering for this day and age. Oh, very cool. Thank you very much, Tony. Awesome, dude. No problem, Chief. Thanks for coming into the chat. I don't know when you got in here per se, but I will be taking a hiatus for about 2 weeks. I have a dental appointment this coming weekend, and my birthday is not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. I mentioned it before. If you guys want to send anything to me, definitely hit my P.O. box up. I definitely want to do some unboxings on the stream for birthday gifts. If no one's obliged. You do not have to do that. Only do it if you have funds available or you want to send me something. Definitely don't think you have to do anything for me. I bring you guys content. I try to make your days a little bit better. I try to make you guys more informed with toys, action figure, unboxings, anything I can come up with, geek pop culture community, to bring a point across to the YouTube community. And thank you guys for watching my content. Next one, Rainbow, is a figure that has gotten a lot of traction on my channel. I said don't buy this figure. I stand true to that. Excuse me, only because excuse me again. Only because it's extremely pricey on the secondary market. Probably one of the greatest White Ranger figures ever created, in my honest opinion. The SH Figure Arts White Ranger. This is how he's actually posed on my shelf, if you were curious. Very similar to the articulation we saw on the Green Ranger. You can get ridiculous amounts of articulation. This is the 2013 released SH Figure Arts White Ranger. This is not the new one coming out in November of this year. Again, I strict by my code. Don't buy this figure. It's too expensive on the secondary market. You're looking between $150 and $350. Wait till November to get the interchangeable head accessory. If you were curious, they did make a new release version of this figure. New packaging, comes with an interchangeable head. I did, Tony. Absolutely. I watched it. Watched it Sunday, actually. Great pay-per-view. Me and Collecting Hobby will be doing a full review on the Worldwide Wrestling Podcast probably in a few weeks. We're going to be doing that one, and we're doing Hell in a Cell. So if you were curious, great figure, but do not buy it. Wait till November to get the 2018 release of this figure. I have a feeling that might make a couple points of articulation changes, because unfortunately the articulation on these legs, the quads and the thighs, are a little bit off. It is a very good figure. All things considered, it is probably one of the best White Ranger figures you'll ever find, in my personal opinion. You will not find a better figure that's out there for White Ranger, unless you go by probably the new Hasbro one. Hasbro has gotten the license now for Power Rangers, because Bandai has let the license lapse, and Hasbro picked up the license for Power Rangers. So in the near future, we're going to be seeing Hasbro-based Power Rangers. I'm definitely going to pick them up. I'm definitely going to compare them between the Legacy class stuff, which was Bandai, SH Figure Arts Power Ranger, and the new one when it comes out for the Hasbro Power Rangers. Absolutely. 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 Heck yeah. They are coming out with a Lord Zarkon. If you're curious, STS. He is the combination of an alternate dimension White Ranger and Green Ranger. They had a comic book called Shattered Grid, and they have Tommy as a bad guy, and they're coming out with that pop next year, beginning of next year. I think it's February of next year. That's coming out, which I will definitely buy. I need that pop. They did come out with a Lord Zarkon action figure, but it was a PowerCon exclusive. That was the only way you could possibly get that particular action figure. I don't know if they're going to release it on secondary, on the normal market, not secondary market, but normal market. I don't know if it's coming out. It's something that honestly is not too expensive. I've seen it going between $75 and $100. You're going to say that's a lot of money, but all things considered, if you think about a normal convention exclusive, normally figures like that run about $25 to $30 out the gate. Paying 2.5 times, maybe 3.5 times price for it. If I can get it for like maybe, if I can get it between $60 and $70, that would be a good buy for me. Would I buy it? I don't know. I don't know if I would purchase Lord Zarkon. But again, if we're looking at a toy from yesteryear to today, we didn't really have these cool Power Ranger figures back in the day. We had a couple good ones. The head flipping Power Rangers where you had them, they were unmasked and they had a flip gimmick. It was spring loaded, so you would push the morpher on the chest, and the head and the body would switch positions. So the head would be in, the other masked head would be inside, like literally inside the figure, and it would flip. So then the masked head would be up, and the unmasked head would be at the bottom. Kind of neat idea. They actually re-released that. I've seen them in Target, and I've seen them at GameStop. So you can still buy that. They have a red one and a green one. They have Red Ranger, Green Ranger. That's currently available. I've seen both those. We're at 9:30 in right now. I talked about Transformers. I talked G.I. Joe at the beginning of the podcast. The Superpowers, I talked about that as well. Some Power Rangers, some WWE stuff, and Funko. What other stuff? Now I want to turn it over to you guys. I've got all my visual aids. They're all done right now. Got done about 30 minutes, so I'm very, very happy about. Let's talk about toys of yesterday compared to toys of today. What brands of toys that came out vintage, came out years ago, that you would like to see made today? Hit me up in the chat. Oh, the one with the flipping head, Rainbow? Yep. Yeah, GameStop has that one. I've seen the red one. I've seen the green one. I've been hesitant to pull the trigger specifically on that, only because I didn't know if I want that figure or not. That would be, for me... Yes, Sapphire, how's it going? You might see her walking in the screen over here. Excuse me. You might see the kitty cat in the corner over here, with my fingers wagging over here. She's walking around. Yep, you might be hearing meowing, guys. Yes, Sapphire. Let me go grab her real quick. Hold on. If you guys were curious, I'll bring in the little girl. Here's Sapphire, my kitty cat, my big kitty. She is diabetic. She is very camera shy. She's probably trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But if you're curious, this is my kitty cat. You might see her walking in the back of the screen every once in a while. But let me put her back on the shelf here and give her some treats. Back in a second, guys. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's my little kitty. Actually, big kitty. If you were curious, she is diabetic. She gets injections twice a day. But it's something that I've learned to help her condition with. So, absolutely love my little girl. But as far as that goes, what brands would you guys, excuse me, what brands of toys that you saw in vintage, thanks Jackie, would you want to see come back? What toys would you want to see return in this day and age? Hit me up in chat, please. What toys would you want to see brought back? Definitely want to see G.I. Joe come back. I don't know why Hasbro is sitting on the license. Not quite sure the reason why. Maybe because they have nothing planned. Maybe they're going to be doing something different with the new movie when it releases. You're going to have a lot of merch when the new movie comes out. But with Toys R Us gone, that's going to hurt dramatically. With KB Toys coming in now to fill the gap during Black Friday, I think it'll be very, very interesting. I know they wanted to get some pop-up stores in place during Black Friday time, and they're going to make real. I think they're going to make real stores as well, but I'm not sure the entire details on it yet. It's still a bit on the gray side, so I'm not sure the rationale of what they're going to be doing yet. But what other stuff would you see? I definitely want to see G.I. Joe come back. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, they brought back Skeleton Warriors. I don't know if you're familiar with that license. They were really neat toys back in the day. You had heroes. You had the bad guys, which were just all skeletons, literally all skeletons. They brought it back through a Kickstarter program. I think that's a really cool license. Visionaries. I'd love to see Visionaries come back. Visionaries were, I want to say they were, I can't say if they're a Hasbro or Mattel property. One of the two. Yep. Yeah, Rainbow. I talked about it on another stream. I talked about it in other videos. KB Toys is coming back. There's a company that basically picked up a lot of licenses for a lot of older school licenses and companies that expired, and they are bringing them back now. They're launching KB. They've said during Black Friday of this year is what they're planning to release them in malls. So I think it's something like 400 or 500 of these locations are going to be brought back in malls throughout the U.S. Then they're going to be, when Black Friday comes and goes near the end of the shopping year, like during Christmas, they're going to phase those down and keep the top. They said, I think, between 200 to 300 locations still going permanently. But they have not said if they're going to branch those out into stores yet. But KB Toys is, in fact, coming back, Rainbow. If you were not aware, definitely look it up. It's a real thing. So yeah, definitely the idea of KB Toys is to fill in the gap for Toys R Us. This company is trying to kind of wedge in that gap that happened with Toys R Us's bankruptcy and departure now. That's your idea of this company. Well, go with your parents, Rainbow, if you can. They should bring back Thundercats. They have, Tony. Thundercats were brought back by, I want to say, Mattel. At one time they were doing their subscription series, but I think it got phased out. But I know Thundercats is coming back. The Four Horsemen, which are a group of 4 well-established sculptors. They did all the new Master of the Universe stuff that came out. They did their Mystic Legions, which was a Kickstarter program, which was the the Black Raven. I've done reviews for. But they did, in fact, do the new Thundercats figures. If you were not aware, let me see if I can find a picture of them here for you guys. The new Thundercats. I think it's Mattel. I want to say it's Mattel. Yeah, here it is. Here's the new Mattel. This was a subscription figure, Tony. Let it focus a little bit here. That's the new Lionel figure. That's done by the Four Horsemen. It is a subscription series figure, I believe. Right. Here we go. That's kind of what they would look like. Focus. Hopefully it will focus. There we go. That's the new Thundercats series that came out from Mattel. So Mattel is in fact doing Thundercats again, but it is a subscription series, unfortunately. So they did in fact bring it back. One of the toy line very similar to Thundercats was, it kind of went away, unfortunately, which was Silverhawks. Silverhawks was in the same universe as Thundercats, because they met up with Mumra, the big bad. In Silverhawks met up with Mumra, I believe, and there is a joint universe. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Rainbow. But definitely Silverhawks, I think, could come back. Mask would be a really cool idea to come back. I know for a fact they did relaunch the Mask comic, and Matt Tracker is a black guy instead of a white guy. What if you're not aware? Hasbro has taken literally all of their licenses and merged them into one universe. Transformers, Micronauts, Rom the Space Knight, Mask, G.I. Joe, Transformers. Everything is in one universe now, according to Hasbro. They have a very special series of comics which has talked about this, and they're all in one universe. So I mean, seeing and Visionaries is even in there. So I think it'd be cool taking some of those old school properties and bring them back. I think that would be a very cool idea in this day and age, especially with things like Kickstarters now, where the funds can come from, let's say, a joint pool. You're not really having to scramble for money. You can have the fans contribute to this project, and that's what they do for a lot of stuff to kick it off, literally kickstart it. But yeah, absolutely, it's stuff that actually old licenses can come back, and they have proven to be very, very strong. A lot of companies that can't afford the entire budget will have the fans basically push the money up for them, which is a very cool idea in this day and age. Normally, back in the day, something like that would never exist. So, I mean, that's a very cool option in this day and age. What other stuff would you guys love to see that was vintage be brought back to toys for today? What else? Hit me up in the chat, please. Hit me up, please. What other toys do you think would be cool licenses that you used to either collect, saw, played with, and said, you know what, this would be really, really cool if they bring XYZ back? What would be a really cool license to bring back in this day and age? What would you guys like to see? Let's make the assumption you had the power to do this. You had, let's say, all the funds you needed, you had something that you liked back in the day, and you want to kick it off again. Thanks for coming back, STS. And you saw something that you knew back in your youth that said, hey, this worked really, really good then, but it had some missteps and it failed. But you know for a fact you can bring this back. Assuming you had the power to do this, what would you bring back? And why? Hit me up in chat, please. Hit me up in chat, please. What would you bring back? Assuming you had the power to do so. For me, it would have been, let's say, I think a good ones would be Visionaries, Mask, Silverhawks, would be probably the three big licenses that I'd like to see brought back. They're bringing back Battle Beast already. They're bringing back Skeleton Warriors. I think that Visionaries was really ahead of its time. They were Mystic Knights. What their big gimmick was, they had on their chest was a hologram. Not like the Transformers hologram. No problem, Tony. Thanks for coming in chat, my friend. Hope you take a look at the vlog, the VOD on demand as soon as it goes up. Thanks for coming in, my friend. They had a symbol on their chest, and they had usually a staff with the symbol of their totem as well. So let's say a guy had, and because it was backed with a cartoon series. Most of these properties that you see back then, let's say Micronauts, Centurions would be another great one to bring back. Master of the Universe, great series to bring back. Mattel has brought it back, STS. The big problem was the subscription series. Yep, the Mystic Knights of Tirnagog. Never heard of that one. Street Sharks, Meek. Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. I remember Street Sharks. And what made Street Sharks, and like I said, Visionaries, Silverhawks, all these old school toy vintage properties that we saw usually had a cartoon series to back the toys. Even Transformers, G.I. Joe, if you really think about it, what they did was a 22-minute advertisement for their toys. That's what it was. Street Sharks was really, really cool back in the day. I would not doubt at all if they brought back Street Sharks. Gargoyles, absolutely. I love the Gargoyles TV show. Very adult, very ahead of its time. I believe they had the same people that did the animation for Batman animated series. I think that studio did Gargoyles as well. I could be wrong, but very, very similar animation style. Absolutely. I can see Street Sharks coming back. Extreme Dinosaurs. Yep. What was a good one also? They had dinosaurs that were... I don't remember what it was called. You had guys that were riding dinosaurs. They had armor pieces. They were riding around like mounts. They had guns all over the dinosaurs. They were really, really big dinosaurs. You had small little ones. Dino Riders. I think it was Dino Riders. Something like that, I think, might work in this day and age because you can have, let's say, another cartoon series to back with it. But with all the Jurassic Park hype, I could definitely see something like that getting off the ground. Absolutely. When you have a cartoon series to back that property, that's how it actually works. But Street Sharks, I could absolutely definitely see brought back in this day and age. Absolutely. I think that would probably be something I would pick. That would be picked up maybe probably on a Kickstarter. I could see a Kickstarter picking something like that up. Absolutely, absolutely. But those were like classic. I would say Turtles, but Turtles has Nickelodeon backing it. So it's if we look at vintage Turtles to modern Turtles, completely different idea. I'm not a big fan of the Nickelodeon stuff. Not a big, massive fan of the newer Nickelodeon Turtles. I remember Turtles back in the day. I remember the old school Turtles. Eastman, I can't remember what Kevin Eastman, I think his name is. He actually frequented. He actually had a house down in South Florida, and he went to Tate's Comics all the time. They actually had him do signings there, and he's a well known guy, and he made Ninja Turtles. His Turtles was much different than the Turtles that we see nowadays. He made the classic Turtles without the red bandanas and the red knee pads and elbow pads with different weapons. Same names that you saw for your Turtles, but they were black. It was a black and white comic until it blew up in the mainstream. But that was a classic. It's a classic toy line, different now in today's day and age, but still a good property. What other stuff would you guys like to see brought back? Hit me up a chat, please. We have about 10 minutes left, guys, and then I'm going to be on a 2-week vacation. So I want to make these last 10 minutes really, really good for you guys. Yeah, they made an STS. They made a black and white Leo Pop, FYE exclusive. It would be cool if they made, as far as Funko, if they made the traditional Turtles the way they looked back in the day. The design they looked like. I think that Diamond Select, I think, might have made the black and white Turtles. I could be wrong, or it might have been NECA, one of the two. But the original Turtles. Digimon. I guess you could call Digimon in there. That was 90s-ish. That was, of course, coming off the craze of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! But, Digimon was a good... I think they're bringing Digimon back. I thought they were bringing it back. I could be wrong. But I know they have Digimon Pops. But I'm not sure exactly if they are or not. I'll probably be posting stuff on Instagram, maybe on Facebook. I wish I could give you that explanation, Meek. I don't know why. Just like, for some weird reason, there was a pop that came out for Biggie. One of the new Biggie pops was going for a ridiculous amount of money. Why the common Mikey? I couldn't tell you. Just like 2 weeks ago, for whatever reason, the red version of the Predator Hound was like $35 for whatever reason. No reason why. It was literally triple the price just for that red Predator Hound. I think the Green Chase was a buck or two higher, but the standard common was like $35. It's dropped enormously now. But for like 2 weeks ago, it was silly expensive. I don't know why it was so expensive. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I have no clue why it was so expensive. But I've seen that out of the blue where, for whatever reason, a set of standard... Yeah, it looks like a smiling dog. The green one does too. There's no difference between the green one and the red one. Identical sculpt, just paint variant. It's all the differences between the two. But I don't know why a particular common would just have a spike of price. I couldn't tell you the reason why. The only thing I could maybe say is that maybe in certain areas those commons were not readily available. That'd be the only reason why. Dinosaurs, Jurassic Park meets Transformers. Don't remember that at all. Sapphire's trying to climb down from a table. But I've seen times where, for some weird reason, common pops are extremely expensive for whatever reason. Before the Power Ranger license was lost, several years ago when they had the red, the white, and the pink Ranger. I remember seeing him at Hot Topics all the time in the original posed Power Ranger before the new re-release versions, before they got the license back. And those three Rangers were silly expensive. I couldn't figure out why. At that time, I would call them common because you could get them anywhere. I can't remember if they were. I think they were regular pops. I don't remember if they were Hot Topic exclusives, but they were normal, not metallics, the normal versions. But yeah, I don't know why a particular pop would be so expensive being a common. And out of let's say a 4-pack, why the Michelangelo one is, don't know. Don't know. The only thing I possibly think of is maybe it's short packed. It has a less print run than the other ones, which could be maybe. But usually they have, if it's a common, they're printing 25,000, 30,000 pieces of it. So why, I don't know. We have less than 10 minutes left, guys. What other toys from yesterday would you want to see printed today? If you could make any toy franchise, you had the power, you had the money, regardless, what toy franchise would you bring back? What else? Hit me up in chat, please. We got 10 minutes to go. I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts are. Absolutely. Absolutely. What other toys would you like to see brought back in this day and age? I've mentioned Silverhawks. We've had Street Sharks, Visionaries, Mask, Centurions. Some of the real classic toys of yesterday to be brought back. I think a lot of those can be brought back in this day and age. Why? I don't know why they don't. It's probably licensing. It's probably licensing is my thought process. They don't have the license to those properties. If they bought into that license, it might be too expensive for the parts, the manufacturing. That could be the reasoning why. But with stuff like, VR Troopers. I remember that, Meek. Big Bad Beetleborgs. That's another one. I used to watch VR Troopers. I think it might have come on like early in the morning. Like really, really early. It was a good show. I don't know how many seasons it ran, but it was like another version of Power Rangers, sort of, kinda. I think they had merch for the VR Troopers, I believe. I think it might have been another Saban property. I'm guessing, but I could be wrong. But yeah. Yeah, you might even see old versions of a vintage toy back, stuff that you saw back in the day at like flea markets and things like that. Yeah, absolutely. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about as far as toys that you remember growing up with and toys for today? Samurai Pizza Cats. Yes. Yes. I remember that. Samurai Pizza Cats, absolutely. I know it was a cartoon. I don't know if they had merch for no, I don't know if they had a toy series for Samurai. I think they might have had toys for Samurai Pizza Cats. I think they might have. There was also another cat-based one where there were fighter pilots, and they had a really cool fighter jet. I don't know what that one was called. I don't know if that was Samurai Pizza Cats or not. Take a look here. Cartoon Cats Flying Plane. Can't remember what it was called. I don't know if it's Samurai Pizza Cats or not. SWAT Cats. It was this one right here. That's what I was thinking of. SWAT Cats. The Radical Squadron. I don't know if they have toys for that one. It was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Wow, this dates me big time. This was back in... It had 2 seasons. It ran from 93 to 94. SWAT Cats. Yep. I remember watching that cartoon. It was a really, really good cartoon. I don't know if they had toys. I'd love to get that jet. If they made that as a toy, I would buy that in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Heck yeah. I'd do it with no regret. None. Because I liked that cartoon growing up as a kid. We're talking 2013, 93, 2003, 2000. That's what, 30 years old? I don't have any pictures of when I was little with me. My family has them. But yeah, I looked silly as a little kid. Absolutely. Hey, Collecting Hobby, how's it going, sir? You missed a whole stream, my friend. You missed a whole stream. Talked about me going on vacation for 2 weeks. No YouTube, no stream, no nothing. Taking a vacation. Got a dentist appointment this coming Saturday, and my birthday is not this Thursday, it's next Thursday, September 13th, which I'll be 44, unfortunately. But we're going to be ending the stream shortly. We're talking about toys from today versus toys of yesterday. Old school licenses, old school properties, stuff that you remember back in the day. We were talking, of course, Transformers. These are Transformers from Toys R Us. These are Masterpiece Transformers. We're looking at old school G.I. Joes. Comparing these guys right here. Yep, no video for 2 weeks. I'm taking a vacation. I'm going to decompress. I'm going to take a relaxing time. Need to go to the dentist. Got to get a root canal done. So, yeah. Yeah, I'll be fine. Part of the reason why I know for a fact the root canal, I'm going to be sore for a few days. And that would cut into the stream. And that's another reason why I'm not going to be shooting any videos for 2 weeks. Nothing. I'm going to be taking a vacation for 2 weeks. I decided that a day or two ago that it'd be best for me to decompress, relax, come back with another stream that coming Monday, which is probably going to be a YouTube stream of how to break into YouTube, what I did, what my successes were, what my failures were, things like that. That's gonna be my one of the videos I'm gonna actually one of the streams I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing I know I'm gonna be doing the giveaway, pulling the winner for the giveaway for the Funko prize pack giveaway for Last Jedi. I'm going to be doing a video of Funko storage ideas. I'm going to be doing a video based on that, based on what I use for my storage, and a new item I'm going to be getting, which I'm going to talk about in the video. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm in the process of ordering it, so yeah. Also, if you guys mentioned it before, I'll plug it, because I like plugging stuff. If you guys want to send anything for my birthday, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to, but of course, that is the P.O. Box. Right there. Kind of get a focus. Yep, 17th. Which will focus. There it is. If you guys want to send something, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to. So yeah, it'd be the 17th most likely. Let me take a look here at the dates. I could be wrong on the dates. So this week I'm off, that week I'm off. So yeah, it'd be the 17th. Monday the 17th is when I'll be back. And that's going to be a full stream. Also, that's probably going to be the YouTube stream, which I thought would be a good idea. I was thinking about it today. People who are just trying to break into YouTube, maybe not sure what to do, how to go about it. I can give you my ideas. I can give you what I did when I built my channel. I would go, if I could go back and fix things, I would. Because I had a lot of missteps. I've talked about it before that my subscriber count is very, very bad. It's loaded with a lot of bad subs, which are called dead subscribers, which unfortunately does not get a lot of views out of because they're just dead weight. So, yep, you'll see me back on the 17th. Like I said, I'm going to take a 2-week vacation. I definitely want to decompress. I want to relax, not worry about YouTube, not worry about views, not worry about minutes, not worry about anything like that. Yep, I got him. I got Rodimus. And we got Grimlock. I don't talk about my Transformers stuff, only because I do not display it. It's all in storage. Because I have nowhere really to display my Transformer stuff right now. It's all Funko display. But I would never do videos about it. No, you're not a dead subscriber. Dead subscribers wouldn't be in this chat right now. Dead subscribers are someone who are there right now, but they don't watch any content or haven't watched content in months. So to me, they're a dead sub. Unfortunately, I can't get rid of them because I don't know who they are. That's a big problem I'm running into. But we're at the 10 o'clock mark, guys. I want to thank everybody who stayed with me on this actual stream tonight. I thought it'd be a very cool idea talking about toys from yesterday to toys from today. What I liked from them, what I would love to see come back, compare them from what we saw back in the day to what we see at toys now. I want to thank everybody who did come into this actual stream. Thank you guys for your well wishes. I don't have Megatron, unfortunately, AA. Thank you for all your well wishes. Nah, they don't care. Well wishes, birthday wishes. Again, I'll be out for 2 weeks, taking a nice long-winded vacation. I want to thank everybody. Take care. See you guys in the next stream in 2 weeks. Take care. I'm leaving in 3, 2, 1. Later, guys. Bye-bye.